Robotic Lawn Mower, model E400. Let's get into it. All right, so I have it set up here on the docking station, basically where it goes to charge itself, okay? Let's go over quickly what comes in the box. So of course you have the robot, you have the docking station, you have this perimeter wire. You see it's green. This has to be installed in your lawn with these stakes. Nice thing is this is all pretty small, so it kind of disappear in your lawn. You have this little accessory kit, so it's got some extra blades in there, which we'll look at in a second, and you got these stakes. These stakes hold the charging station down to the floor. Now, the perimeter cable you have to install, this will cut up to around a quarter acre of land, and you can put it around obstacles and things like that. So if you have an area you don't want it to cut, maybe around like a play set or something like that, it will satisfy that requirement. All right, it has collision sensors on the front, so let's look at it a little bit closer. It does have a collision sensor in the front here. This is where the charging happens. So it actually just drives itself up to the docking station here and charges itself. If we look at the blades in the bottom, we have about a 7.5 inch cutting surface, okay? People sometimes ask about that with robots, but the thing about it is I really usually don't care because I'm not mowing it. So I'm just letting it run longer. It doesn't really matter, okay? These blades are extremely sharp. They also move. You can see that. I like that they're not kind of stationary. See how they move? That's a good thing because if it hits something like a stick or something like that, instead of the blade hitting it and dinging, it'll kind of just move out of the way, which is really nice. So that helps the longevity of these blades. They're double-sided, so it looks like you probably can take them off and turn them upside down. It'll be cutting on this side, right? This side will never really get any use. After a few weeks, you basically will take this bolt out, and it looks like to be a Phillips head screw. And you just turn the blade around, and then you put it down. So it's really nice. It's basically double-sided. You get double the life. You have these little wheels up here, up front. I don't see any issue. This seems to be really smooth. So I've seen people put like car wax and things like that on the bottom of this, which is probably something I'm gonna try. Just helps with cleaning. But this seems to be pretty smooth, so I would think that the dirt, the grass maybe wouldn't stick as bad. You have these giant wheels, which would probably keep it from getting into any trouble. Has an on and off switch. And I believe the battery is inside here. It's actually a replaceable battery. We'll never need to do this, but yeah, there's the battery. So that's the battery that's in it. Looks like a drill battery actually. It's not a DeWalt battery, but this is really nice. This is a 2000 milliamp lithium ion battery, 18 volts. So very strong. This is something that you would see like in a drill, all right? So I like that it's replaceable like that. That's really nice. You have a master on and off switch up here. You have a rain sensor here. So this will cut in the rain or not in the rain. In my experience, it's better to not cut the grass in the rain because the grass turns like kind of like into that blue I was talking about earlier. All right, oh, it's charging. And this is where you adjust the height that it cuts at. The height it cuts at is 0.8 of an inch up to 2.5 inches or so. And the way you adjust it is right here on the top. It's just this big knob. So when you're up here at the top, you're at 2.5. And when you're down here, you're at 0.8 of an inch. So I think it's got a pretty wide. So I probably will always leave mine at the highest, which is 2.5 inches. Just like all the other robots, it has all the technology built into it along with integration to an app. So on your phone, you can control it. So right here, you can see, I can set it off right here if I want to. I can stop it. I can also hit the go home button, which would send it back home to charge. Now, this will automatically charge. Once the battery hits 20%, it'll automatically go back to the docking station and charge itself and then continue mowing. All right, so kind of like hands off. It does have some scheduling features. So we look at the scheduling feature. I haven't messed with this yet, but it seems to be pretty straightforward. Every day you can have it scheduled to be cut at a certain time. You could turn each day on or off, which is really nice. So pretty customizable. I normally don't use the scheduling feature. I like to be eyes looking at the lawn and have it cut. But if you go on vacation, you can have this cut every single day, or you have it cut one day a week, or whatever your heart desires, okay? So, you know, completely customizable in that sense. The zone settings, I'm not sure actually what that is yet because I haven't gotten into this yet. It does have edge mowing. I assume you'd always want that on. Wi-Fi settings. So if you have this connected to the Wi-Fi, that means you can control it anywhere, like in the world that you have your phone, which is really nice. Rain sensor on and off. Probably good idea to turn the rain sensor on so that if it does sense rain, it stops cutting and it just goes back to the docking station. Once it determines that there's no more rain, it'll go off and cut, okay? Looks like there's an error log, device info, and you can do your firmware updates right from the app. So all the normal stuff that you probably would want with this within an app, I think it has. And I'm sure because, you know, technology always marches on, they'll add features as they go on. Let's sort of jump in here and show you the electronics of this thing. So you have a pretty long wire here. This is plugged into my wall over there. So you obviously do need to run this to a spot in your yard that has an outlet. All of the connections are like these watertight, sealable connections. So very nice. This is pretty standard for these types of outdoor tools. You don't want any water to get in there. This is where the perimeter wire gets fed into. Kind of looks like, it's kind of like speaker wire, really. This is all hidden behind a trap door here, where this goes, down like so. So all hidden away, nice and covered. So that is the YARDCARE. Now I don't know the price of this yet. This is a really new robot, but I have my feelings around what it's probably gonna cost. It's probably gonna be a very good value. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, this is it. It seems to be a good weight, but not overbearingly heavy. It does have this carrying handle back here. So, you know, it is lighter weight, I would say. And that's a nice thing. You don't want this heavy robot out there destroying your lawn, okay? The lighter it is, the better, all right? It also has a battery indicator here on the top. It has a battery indicator in the app. I will be doing a video of installing this, showing you how to put the ground wire in, which is extremely simple, and setting it up and showing you the first few cuts that it does in my backyard. All right, so that probably won't be for another month or so when my lawn needs to be cut, but this is the YARDCARE E400 lawn mower. Giant stop button there, and that is an indicator to stop this video. I'm Mike, Family DIY TV. I'm gonna ask you to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you wanna see this thing actually in action and how to set it up. I have a ton of other videos on the channel showing all kinds of just family DIY stuff. I'm Mike, Family DIY TV, and I'm YARDCARE Robot Lawn Mower out.